We're here to cut through the noise, get straight to what matters. And today, we're tackling something huge for English learners. You might know the words, you might even get the grammar, but then actually speaking, it just doesn't happen. The words get stuck.
Yeah, it's a really common feeling. It's often not about lacking the knowledge, is it? It's confidence.
Yeah.
And the sources we looked at make a powerful case that confidence is maybe the most critical piece.
Exactly. So let's talk about that. We've got this story about Michael.
Right, Michael. He knew a lot of English vocabulary, grammar, pretty solid, but speaking, terrified, completely paralyzed by nerves, that fear of making a mistake.
Yeah.
So he understood plenty, but just stayed quiet.
That sounds so familiar. He had the tools, just couldn't use them. Okay, so our mission today is to dive deep into building that English confidence, pulling out the best insights, the real actionable stuff from this guide. What changed for Michael? How did he unlock things?
Well, his big breakthrough, and this is really foundational, was a shift in his mindset. Sounds simple, but it's huge. He stopped focusing so much on avoiding mistakes and started focusing on just getting his ideas across.
Shifting the goal.
Exactly. He started telling himself, okay, a mistake isn't failure, it's just feedback. It's learning. And that internal shift, that belief, that's what eventually got him fluent. It really shows confidence starts inside.
From perfection to progress. That's a big mental reset. So, okay, let's unpack that foundational mindset. The guide talks about accepting imperfection. That's more than just mistakes are okay, isn't it?
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
It's deeper. The sources are clear. Nobody's perfect. Native speakers, they mess up all the time, stumble over words, But for learners, that pressure for perfection is like a bottleneck. It actually paralyzes the learning part of your brain.
Paralyzes it. Wow.
Yeah. Allowing yourself to make those errors, it actually helps your brain learn faster, more naturally. Think about kids learning to talk. It's all trial and error. Yeah. Right. The mistake is just the brain recalibrating. Embracing that lifts a massive weight.
So see the stumbles as data, not failures.
Yeah.
And linked to that is positive self-talk and visualization. How do those actually work?
It's about actively managing that voice in your head. The guide really hammers this home. Instead of letting thoughts like, oh, I sound terrible or I'm not good enough run wild, you actively counter them. Remind yourself, hey, I'm putting in the effort. I am making progress. Even simple things like, I'm learning. I get better each day. Repeating that consistently, it could genuinely start to change how your brain responds in speaking situations. Build confidence pathways.
Actively rewiring your thoughts. That's interesting. And the visualization part, how would someone actually do that?
Right. The positive visualization trick is pretty powerful. Before you speak, just take a moment, maybe close your eyes, and vividly imagine yourself speaking clearly, confidently. Picture the other person understanding, maybe nodding, smiling. It's not just daydreaming. It's like a mental rehearsal.
Yeah.
It helps calm your nerves, sets up those confidence pathways in your brain, sort of primes you for success before you even start.
Preparing the mind, not just the words. But this is an instant, right? The guide mentions patience, celebrating progress.
Oh, totally vital. Confidence building takes time, consistent effort, and acknowledging the small wins. That's key. Finishing a conversation, understanding a tricky word, even just speaking for a bit without translating in your head, that's progress.
Yeah.
We read about Lisa. Always struggled, even with simple things. But after practicing phrases and visualization, she managed to order lunch in English all by herself, even ask a clarifying question. That one small thing gave her this huge boost of pride. Those little achievements, they really add up.
Small wins build momentum. Got it. So mindset's the foundation. How do we put it into action? The sources talk a lot about daily consistent practice. Why is daily so important, even if it's short?
Paramount, really. Speaking English every day, even just for a few minutes. The why is twofold. First, it gets your mouth muscles used to the sounds, improves pronunciation naturally. Second, and maybe more importantly, it trains your brain to think faster in English.
Reduces that lag time.
Exactly. Less searching for words. It builds that language muscle memory, makes speaking feel more automatic, less effortful.
And it doesn't need to be a big formal conversation, right? What kind of low pressure practice does the guide suggest?
Right. No high stakes needed. Things like talking to yourself in the mirror or recording your voice. Paul did that. Just short talks about his day. There was Helen, a nurse. She committed to just 10 minutes a day, sometimes talking to herself, sometimes to her husband. That consistency, big confidence boost.
Just 10 minutes.
Yeah. And Kevin, he practiced short sentences about his plans each morning. Made him much more comfortable speaking up in his busy office. Frequency is the goal, not length or perfection.
Making it a habit. Okay. Now, thinking in English, that sounds daunting. How do you even start doing that?
It's a game changer. Really tackles that lag problem head on, translating everything in your head. It's like running extra software.
Yeah.
Slows you right down, kills confidence.
Right.
The advice is to actively try to bypass translation. Build direct links between ideas and English words. Start super simple, like just name things around you in English. Blue cup, clear sky. Then move to simple actions, simple thoughts, like Lisa did.
So, consciously labeling your world in English.
Exactly. Train your brain to connect ideas straight to English, making it more fluid.
And that connects to active listening too, right? Hearing more gives your brain more to work with for thinking.
Absolutely linked. The guide stresses listening daily, different accents, different speeds. Not just having it on, but really listening. It tunes your ear to the rhythm, the flow, and better understanding naturally boosts speaking confidence. You hear how people actually phrase things.
Makes sense.
Paul listened to English news every morning, focused on understanding. Tom used his commute for news and podcasts, felt much more ready to speak at work afterwards. It's about immersing your brain.
Okay, mindset, daily habits covered. What about specific boosts, like preparation and getting support? Strategic preparation seems like a big one.
Huge, especially before something important. The sources show prepping useful phrases or sentences before meetings, presentations, that kind of thing. It massively cuts down on nervousness. You've already done the thinking part, so there's less mental load in the moment.
Like loading the software beforehand. Can you give examples?
Sure. Sarah, she had stressful team meetings. Started prepping key sentences, practiced them. Emily had a big work talk coming up, wrote and practiced the script. Huge difference in her confidence and delivery. James, he made notes before every meeting, helped him be clear, precise. And Michael, back to him, his presentation anxiety. He wrote and practiced a short script over and over, delivered really confidently. Preparation builds assurance.
It's like a safety net for your brain. And body language. How does that play in not just how others see you, but how you feel?
Fascinating loop there. The sources talk about confident posture, sitting or standing straight, making eye contact, smiling. It doesn't just look confident. It actually signals back to your brain, reinforcing the feeling of confidence. John, in customer service, consciously worked on his posture and eye contact. It didn't just improve interactions, it made him feel more confident, speak stronger.
Wow, okay.
And using gestures, facial expressions, they help communicate and make you feel more sure of yourself. Emma and David found that too. Your body tells your brain how to feel.
A powerful feedback system. Now, the guide also mentions setting small, achievable goals. Why small?
Small is crucial because it beats that feeling of being overwhelmed. Big goals like become fluent are just too vague, too daunting. But setting tiny, specific goals, speak English for 5 minutes today, or ask one question in the meeting, makes it manageable, easier to achieve.
Right.
And every time you hit one, that's a genuine win. Builds self-belief step by step, creates this positive cycle. Emma in for one question per meeting. Sarah talking to one patient daily. Small steps, big confidence growth over time.
Build momentum, one success at a time. What about getting stuck? The advice is to ask for help, get feedback.
Definitely. Don't be afraid to say, sorry, I don't understand, or ask for clarification. Most people really appreciate the effort. They're happy to help. David found that out. He hesitated at first, but his coworkers were super supportive once he started asking questions.
That's encouraging.
And asking friends or teachers for feedback. See it as a tool, not criticism. Lisa regularly asked her teacher for pronunciation tips. It helped her improve and feel more comfortable. Feedback is a roadmap, not a judgment.
Okay, mindset, prep, support. Now, refining the actual speaking. Simplifying language seems odd if you want to sound fluent.
Yeah, counterintuitive maybe, but so effective for building confidence, especially early on. The idea is use simple, clear sentences. Avoid complex stuff that's hard to remember under pressure and leads to mistakes. The source had a great example. Instead of, I was considering the possibility of going, but I have to check. Just say, I want to go to the conference. I need to check my schedule.
Much cleaner. Less chance of tripping up.
Exactly. Reduces the mental effort, builds speaking momentum, and related to that is learning common phrases for everyday stuff.
Like ordering coffee or asking directions.
Precisely. Build a toolkit of phrases you can use automatically. Emma, in her hotel job, mastered common guest interaction phrases. Made her speaking way easier, faster. Frees up your brain to focus on the actual conversation.
Creates flow. And practicing with others is obviously key.
Oh, absolutely. Joining conversation groups, language clubs, they're safe zones. Everyone's learning. Mistakes are expected, understood. Anna found her English club incredibly supportive, really boosted her willingness to speak.
Takes the pressure off.
Yeah. And then Practicing with native or proficient speakers. Essential for hearing natural expressions, getting used to the real pace. David's confidence really grew from short, regular chats with an English colleague. Picked up stuff you just don't get from books.
That real-world practice. What about tricky sounds or rushing, pronunciation and pausing?
Key for clarity and feeling sure of yourself. Practicing specific sounds you struggle with. Tom worked on his R, David on the E sound. That focus improves clarity, which boosts confidence. And pausing. So important. Take a breath. Think before you speak. It might feel slow, but slow and clear is way better than fast and messy.
Right. Avoids getting flustered.
Exactly. Emma learned to take a deep breath before answering tricky questions. Have her stay calm, speak clearly, seem more confident, control over speed.
Quality and control, not just speed. Okay, this leads us to something super practical. Broadening your conversational reach. Why is practicing across different topics so important?
Because confidence isn't just one thing, it's tied to situations. The more different real-life topics you practice talking about, the more flexible and comfortable you become overall. Every chat, no matter how small, is a chance to strengthen that confidence muscle in a new area. It builds a wider base.
So what kind of topics are we talking about? The sources had a good list, right?
Yeah, a really useful breakdown. Start with work. Explaining your job, talking about meetings, problems. Peter got way more confident explaining products and sales. Michael practiced talking about his daily tasks.
Makes sense. Start with what's relevant. What else?
Then daily life and routines. Your day, chores, habits. Kevin found talking about his schedule helped. John practiced describing things like shopping or cooking. Then personal interests. Hobbies, books, sports. Talking about things you love. The language often flows easier. Michael found chatting about hobbies less stressful than work talk. John enjoyed talking sports.
Things you're passionate about. Going deeper.
Yep. Personal details. Family, describing people, even feelings. Sarah got better talking about her family. Emma learned to express emotions more clearly. And then the really practical needs. Shopping, food, transport, directions, dealing with problems. Think John practicing asking prices. Or Emma discussing expenses confidently.
All stuff you need to do every day. What about social things?
Crucial. Social and cultural topics. Holidays, celebrations, invitations, just making small talk. Anna practiced talking about traditions in her club. Emma got better at inviting friends out. And finally, goals and reflections. Future plans, how you're learning, reviewing progress. Michael talked about career goals. James kept a learning journal.
Wow, that covers a lot of ground.
It does. And the big takeaway is, the more varied the topics and situations you practice in, the more confident you'll feel across the board. It all connects.
That's such a clear path to building real, versatile confidence. What a fantastic deep dive.
It really is. I think the core message from all this is that building English confidence, it's a journey. It takes patience, consistent practice across different areas, and maybe most crucial, that positive, flexible mindset where you see every step as progress.
Absolutely. Confidence isn't some magic talent. It's like a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it gets. So thinking about everything we've covered, the mindset shifts, the strategies, the practical topics, what's one small, actionable step you listening can commit to tomorrow just to make that English confidence muscle a tiny bit stronger?